All right. Thank you. And we're here talking to Steve. Thank you for talking to. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to our awesome live chat with Raf Dionisio, who is the co-founder of Mad Travel and now Mad Market. How are you? Good afternoon, Raf.
Hi, good afternoon, Anton. Thank you for having me. Salamat.
Yes.
Puro digital na ngayon meeting.
Yes. And so for those people watching this during the live stream or even during the replay, you can ask any questions in the comment section below. Let us know, or even you can reach out to us even after this live stream. So first things first, Raf, can you tell us about the Mad brand, what the Mad brand is, how it started to travel, and then now the Mad Market?
Well, when we started back in 2015, I guess that was the height of the travel industry, And so our goal was to push a brand of travel that is more authentic, more inclusive, just because a lot of tourism money generally rotates around big players, and we see a pattern where the little guys are usually excluded from the economy. And so for us, we're an operator focused on farm tourism, community-based tourism, and we partnered with those communities and farmers that maybe would not get that chance, but because we have that accreditation, we're able to connect with bigger players. Then at least we were able to create different economic models within the different areas we work with, and we're most famous for working with the Aitas of San Felipe in Zambales, in partnership with the Circle Hostel, the programs Tribes and Treks, where it's a trek tour, and then you do reforestation activities during the day, then it's culture in the afternoon. Yeah, and we've carried that kind of travel for the last couple of years until last Feb, when everything just
What
started
happened?
getting close. I don't know. At first, we had a trip in January. One parent said, "I'm not sending my child because of coronavirus." We're like, it's January. And then we also had some telltale signs, like in Bohol, where we had the program. Lahat ng mga partners namin doon natatakot na. They're wearing masks. It's like, wow, this is serious. But yeah. And then come March, you know what happened.
Yes. So how did the Mad Market? So Mad means
Make a difference. Yeah.
make a
And so,
difference.
yes, so we'd like to push for social entrepreneurship, and to have a model that's more inclusive talaga and takes into account community partners and the environment as well.
Okay. So can you tell us more about the Mad Market? Paano naman nagsimula yung Mad Market?
So historically, we've always seen hospitality distribution of food and products as a additional revenue stream for Mad Travel. So they come over, they'll buy a shirt, they'll come over, they'll buy a bottle of honey, or they'll buy some of the products from the community. It's happened, but in very very small amounts, no? Because we were always busy with the travel part. But when the lockdown happened and all travel went zero, we thought that maybe we can focus our energies on this opportunity that's been sleeping for some time. And so we pushed, and we set up officially Mad Market, so that we could make a difference to those farmers, indigenous groups, SMEs that don't have that ability to reach the consumer directly, or maybe they can, but the path is too difficult, because the path through retail, through large retailers, is quite challenging, right? And especially now that you don't want to line up, it makes a lot of sense to push online, no?
Yes. So far, what are the products? What are the popular products you're selling in the Mad Market?
Oh, it's a good question. The one that we like the most is it's this honey. So
Oh,
it's we have honey from the Aitas in Bataan that we work with. So it's forest honey. They're like three or four different colors. color grades, and it's because the honey comes from different flowers, different trees. No, so depending on the tree, the flavor changes. It's kind of like coffee. If the Arabica tree is grown under Nara, then there's a certain flavor profile, etc. No? So we got that, and then of course we have fruits and vegetables from different farms in there's Davao, Nueva Ecija, then Benguet.
So
Um,
is the supply sustainable ba? How did the pandemic affect the communities and your social enterprises reach into those communities?
well, definitely what happened is that if you are a informal business, then you'll have a hard time moving products and services. So, for example, in some of the trading posts up north, dati daw for every trucks of farm produce that would arrive at the trading post, there'd maybe be one truck from Manila coming to buy a tricycle, a jeep, no. But now, because of the transport, everything has to be official. Then what's happening is that there's only one buyer for every 10 trucks that comes to the trading post, and so it becomes very difficult, and that's why you see people online, my surplus of this, surplus of that, no. Right, and the other side is that people are eating out less, and so
Yes.
maybe people are eating less in general, no.
So how are you doing the delivery? Your logistics
Ah,
issue?
so
Oh.
deliveries are simple. So we have one vehicle in house that we deliver within Quezon City. In fact, deliveries are free for several villages in Quezon City: Loyola Heights, Ayala Heights, Saint Ignatius, yan, Maginhawa area, even as far as New Manila area. And then if it's farther than that, usually we book a third party provider na, and there are several naman that you can choose from easily. No?
And then you get it directly from the communities. How do you get it?
So some of the items are direct from the communities. Some of them have to go through there are traders who come in who get directly from them. Then we just get from that, no. And then yung pinaka last resort naman is if we have, let's say, because it's fresh produce, so sometimes nagkukulang, we'll have to get from the market nearby. Uh, yung mga 1-2 kilo na butal, no. We're trying to grow it to a point where we can get more direct from communities. At the same time, there's a definitely a storage issue because fresh produce doesn't last very long. No, it's not, and that I guess that's why I'm very fond of the honey, that it doesn't spoil. Kasi so interesting
Okay.
context.
Yes. And so, kamusta naman? What were your learnings with people ordering so far from you? Uh, ano naging shopper behavior ba ngayon?
Well, definitely a lot of people are trying online. And then you've got your mix of people who who like text, who like phone calls, and some who are okay with ordering online. But I think I agree with the assessment of most that the pandemic's forced a lot of us to transition to an online behavior pattern. No? It's not yet there. Like you see it especially today because it's the first day of the modified rules, diba? So some people are going out, and I have to remind people, oh, before you go out, Google nyo muna. Because you might just waste your time or you might get sick by accident, right? But
Oh.
there's a safety behavior we have to build, right? Even me, I instinctively just want to go to the store, and then I was like, oh yeah, I can check Facebook or Google. Yeah.
And how's the communities naman? How did it really affect during this pandemic? O hindi
Uh,
sila affected?
well, no, affected for sure. Everyone's affected. I mean, the pandemic has no, yeah, I guess it hit most, no? For the communities that were reliant on tourism, and we had there are at least four of them that are very reliant on tourism. No choice, so they had to look at other means, no? So for the Aitas in Bataan, in the Dumagat, honey became the way for us to connect with them. Some of the other villages, to be honest, they don't have enough surplus of anything to for us to connect with.
Correct.
And then in Zambales, in Yangil, what we did is we launched a campaign for people to hire the Aitas to plant trees for them. And we're happy that we've been able to, we're on our way to growing 4,000 seedlings, mga fruit and forestry. So may agoho, may kasoy,
Ah,
there's some sampalok, right? To keep them productive. Kasi nga, this village in San Felipe, very, very focused on tourism for the last couple of years. And
mhm.
we had already started the agriculture program and the forestry program, but it needed maybe another year to incubate before they could be self sufficient and create surplus. No, and I think this team of investing in like 3 year, 4 year, 5 year programs, 10 year programs. I think that's where we have to kind of shift our focus kasi this pandemic is far-reaching, di ba? And it makes us. I'm sure it made a lot of people question what are they doing, right?
Mm.
So I think we have to take a look at longer-term solutions for things. Na it's the
So,
quick return isn't enough anymore.
so and you're forecasting travel not to go back ba? What's your
Mm. Well, when we nung March, our forecast was, oh, maybe it'll come back in June, and then it's already May. And then
oh,
the international airline community says, "Oh, it's not gonna go back to normal until 2021." I'm like, "Wow, that's a
wow.
long time from now."
Ano ka ba? What's your percentage of local and domestic?
We were, I think, about 30% local and 70 international back uh, earlier
Wow.
last year. No, so yeah, everything really went zero. I think local will bounce back, but local will become more expensive, and I'm hoping that alongside how Boracay now has its own set of rules, diba, for
Oh,
waste and everything. I hope that alongside implementing that, they implement all the other rules for tourism, and that they add on that maybe honestly, I think travel is your right, but travel is also means it's a responsibility that there's a responsibility you shoulder because you're using resources, diba? And so I feel like people have to, like, maybe there's an online course the DOT can require for every Filipino. Before you travel, take this course on like waste, respecting culture. Simple stuff, diba? Kasi sometimes nagbabastusan tayo because of those things when we
oo.
travel, no?
Oo. May COVID ba dun sa mga communities that you guys support? What happened?
So far, wala naman, thank God.
So it's COVID free. Ang galing ah.
COVID free. Yeah, yeah, definitely. But of course, that's what they say. We don't have tests in any of those villages, so we wouldn't know the
Oh.
actual. No?
So what's the e-commerce strategy? How can people buy from the Mad Market? Did you set up a Shopify store or ano
Oh,
yan? Ordering lang ba yan or paano?
so you can order. You can look for us on Instagram. So it's Make a Difference Market, and then on Facebook it's Mad Market PH. And then we also have a dedicated customer service number, so 0917-585-5512. And then we have a online forms first for Google. We're still trying to we're in the process of building our own like a better platform for online with all the payments, as you mentioned, maybe a Shopify or a Lazada store or something.
Oh. We had a comment here from Dania Mudia. Hope to see you here again in Romblon. Do you guys have something in Romblon?
Oh, I haven't. No, no, we don't have anything in Romblon, but I do know that they have the one of the world's 5 blue holes or something like that for scuba
Mhm.
divers.
Mhm.
Beautiful place. Oh,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you. Sana makabalik ako dyan.
So, Raf, maybe for some also social enterprises listening to our conversation, what did you learn during this pandemic, and how are you like your experience with pivoting to Mad Market and stuff?
Well, I think kasi the pivot starts as a small parang nudge inside, right? And then I mean, it's not a full blown idea when we started. It was like maybe we can try this, no? And so, I mean, for those who have to go through the same process of pivoting, I mean, just listen to your gut instinct. What you think might sell, you're probably on the right track, no? Then just keep trying and trying until you get it. Um, I mean, it's okay if there's any time to make a mistake. Now is the time because coronavirus basically says you're all gonna have a hard time. No? It's a good reminder also on mindset, because when things like this happen, I guess it's our mindset that we can really rely on, and we just have to focus and really try, try to look for the opportunities out there. There's a saying I heard it: never waste a good crisis. I guess because in the middle of crisis there is opportunity, right?
Yes, and that's it. And thank you so much for joining this conversation. Dania had a comment
Hala.
pa. Hala, mga pizzas na Italian resto.
Pizza.
So,
Anong
well, I
Italian
don't
ito?
know kung kailan tayo makaka-travel ulit, di ba? But
Oo
I
nga.
guess for now, this would do. And I think any final pitch to the people who wants to support your
Oh,
communities market?
yeah, please. We're definitely looking for more partners for food. So if you guys have ideas, please connect us. We started reaching out to different provinces so that we can connect with different entrepreneurs there, because we understand it's hard if your province is tourism based, tapos the market no longer comes, so you have to ship the goods down to Manila first, no? And I hope for everyone buying out there, because you still spend money, no? Please be very mindful of how you buy and how you spend your money, because the best way to keep us going as a country is to buy local, because we want the money to circulate within our economy rather than go out. No, once the money goes out, it's going to be challenging to get it back in because our tourism's dead, and we don't know if some of our OFWs will lose their jobs too. No, and those are the two big remittances of cash into the country. So yeah, buy local.
All right, thank you. Last question on this
Yeah, yeah.
sustainable travel. Sa tingin mo, this, of course, because a lot of people are now going slow travel and supporting local. Do you think this will persist, and people will
Slow
still
travel.
really?
I think it will. It's too specialized eh. So pag trip mo talaga to. And I also it's not we're not in a mass tourism model kasi. So I feel like the tourism model that will really get hit is the mass tourism, but those that are specialized, curated, stand a better chance of getting back on their feet. Just because um, there aren't as many people, so the rules for social distancing are easily managed, right? And because there are less people, it's perceived safer. I would say the bigger challenge is how do we convince the community partners to allow us back in? Because to them, we all look like persons under investigation.
Yes. All right. And with that, thank you so much. And please visit. What's your Instagram again?
Our Instagram is Make a Difference Market, and on Facebook it's Mad Market PH. Or you
All
can
right.
check out madtravel.org. We've got extensions there. Right.
Everything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raf, and thank you for all listening. And you can we'll put the links and the show notes in the comment section or in the description of this video.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raf. Thank you
Thank you
for
very much.
chatting with us.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you. And we're here talking to thank you for talking to us.
Oh,